Welcome once again to The Sage, our journey of discovery together. And as usual, I am your guide on this wonderful journey, Dr. KECHLOGBUAGU. Thank you for having been with me all these many weeks. And thank you because I know you will continue to be with me. This particular show is unusual. In fact, it took a lot of persuasion from my team, in fact, for me to finally decide we needed to do this show. This show is about resource mobilization. It's about working with you, all of us working together as a concerned community to make the ideals we propagate in this show work. To make the ideals for which we stand as conversations for change work. Many times in life, we have to be humble enough to admit that we can't do it all alone. No matter the goodwill, no matter the personal resources one might have, when you try to do it alone, you're bound not to do enough. And what that translates into is that many other people out there who could benefit from a program such as this don't. And therefore, in the end, it's an injustice to our world, to our community. And so bear with us. In this particular show, we're going to take you on a journey of looking at what we are, what we've done, how important it is that you partner with us in doing more so that so many young people out there can benefit. Whatever you can give to C4C will be so helpful. Please give us what you can, donate as we show on the screen to our account. But in addition to that, we are willing to work with you in replicating the programs wherever you want it to be. We're willing to share the wealth of experience we have gathered from doing it. Come work with us. Give us what you can. Work with us wherever you want so that as many of our young people can indeed benefit. Please support the continuation of The Sage. We have dipped into our meager resources to fund the production of this show. We are deeply grateful to AIT, who has continued to air without charging us, knowing we're a non-profit. But we need to air and share widely. The Sage is most effective if as many young people as possible can see, can hear, can benefit, can use it for themselves. Come work with us. This works. Lives are being blessed. Everybody has a role to play. Whether it's the public sector, whether it's the private sector, whether you're a multinational organization, whether you're a bank, whether you're a mother in the house, 1 naira is useful contribution. Each and every one of us has a role to play. Welcome back to The Sage. As we said before the break, this is a program that is out of the ordinary for us. We are taking the time because we think it's so important to talk to you about collaboration, about working together to make sure that the objectives, the great ideals we have as conversations for change and for which we use this platform indeed to project can be expanded, can be of benefit to so many other young people out there. As many have asked us, and probably as many of you out there are wondering, but who are we? What is Conversations for Change? What are those things that we stand for? Let me start with our first question. Conversations for Change is an international non-profit, and therefore we are registered in Nigeria, but also proud to say in the US as well. So we are also a US recognized charity. For us, our driving passion, our vision, our mission is to empower young people. For obvious reasons, young people form the large majority of people in this country, and indeed a large proportion of the people in the world. If young people are adequately empowered early enough, the world would thrive. If we build them up, support them to be the best they can, the world would thrive. Nowhere is that more true. Nowhere is it a greater truism than in this country, Nigeria, where people under 40 are probably approximately 80% of our population. They are our today, they are our tomorrow. If they're well empowered, trained, their capacity built, allowed to have the necessary resources, they will be the best they can be. They will contribute immensely to the development of our country. Our country will thrive. Our world will be a better place. And so that is what drives Conversations for Change. We are an organization totally devoted to empowering young people through many, many key work areas. You have seen in the many episodes we have showcased one of our singular initiatives, the Entrepreneurship Initiative. Here we have done a little bit as a poor non-profit to empower young people economically. Not everybody is cut out or can have access to jobs in government and so on. But there are millions out there of young people who can actually become entrepreneurs, and in so doing, economically become independent so they can support themselves, their families, and indeed improve the economy of our country. And so we embarked 3 years ago on empowering and creating these amazing young entrepreneurs. For us, our manifesto is that we dare to galvanize a movement of young people, a movement of young entrepreneurs across this country. That movement has started. You saw many of these young people in our previous episodes. Believe me, trust me, you will see many more. It is doable when you give them the skills, when you help them to believe in themselves, when you support their brilliant ideas, not just by training, but also with resources. They do indeed establish and run successful businesses. Our cream, our stream of young people are creating jobs. They're making a living for themselves. They're changing the face of this country. They're creating the change that is required. You will hear more about our entrepreneurship program, but also very important in this stage of the journey for C4C is this program, the SAGE. We know we cannot reach every young person personally through our entrepreneurship program, but we can reach many other young people through this program. They can understand what we do, how we do it. They can interact and hear the beneficiaries of the program so far. And they will gain ideas. They will be inspired to follow the same courses of action, to indeed embark on a journey of improving their own lives. Very important, we ask that you join us in making this the reality it's already becoming, which is why we're doing this special edition. And so our two main initiatives are the Entrepreneurship Initiative, galvanizing a movement of young entrepreneurs in Nigeria, and also the SAGE, the program, where we'll use this platform to showcase not just the ones we train, but many wonderful young people in this country. You see, sometimes there comes a time to understand ourselves, our world, our country, through positive lenses, through positive eyes. In this program, The Sage, we believe that there's so much good that already exists in our world, in our country. We just need to have the eyes and the wisdom to see it, to appreciate it, to live it. Because too often, way too often, we keep hearing and living the negative, and in so doing, forgetting wonderful benefits, positives that are out there. That is indeed our real and true reality. Welcome to our vision. Welcome to our concepts. Be with me and journey with me as we introduce our own remarkable C4C team and management team to you. C4C has indeed been privileged to have a wonderful, wonderful group of people to implement and to oversee its activities. We have the Board of Trustees. We have a very, very efficient management team, and we also do have a large youth advisory group. Let me start with the Board of Trustees. We have Ambassador Joy Ogu, Professor Joy Ogu, renowned for her achievements and her integrity. Former ambassador and permanent representative of the Federal Republic of Nigeria to the United Nations. We have Mrs. Carol NDAGUBA, a legal luminary whose career in the legal profession in Nigeria has spanned almost 50 years, and who eventually, after many positions as legal advisor and COMSEC, retired as the Foundation Director General or Permanent Secretary of the National Agency for the Prohibition of Traffic in Persons and Other Related Matters, NAPTIP. We have Professor UCHE AMAZIGO, a renowned professor at the University of Nigeria, who retired as the Director of APOC, well known all over Africa and the world for their work on onchocerciasis, and who is now coordinating a new public-private partnership on community-managed school health and feeding, PACIEH, work which has been remarkable in itself and which has indeed been adopted by many state governments. We have Ms. CHINNY ANUGO, who is a remarkable young person, young and inspires the board as a whole, who is a senior content manager for one of the organizations in the United States, Fujitsu. We have Professor ECHENDU ADINMA, a professor of community medicine, Nnamdi Azikiwe University, Nnewi. We have Ms. Jill Sheffield, renowned, perhaps most of all, by having been the past and founding president of Women Deliver Conference, one of the largest conferences in the world centered on issues of women and reproductive health. We have Mr. Alex ONUEGBU, the CEO of Brunel Engineering, one of the biggest engineering companies in Nigeria. Remarkable group of people, distinguished, dedicated, from whom C4C has indeed enjoyed so much counsel and guidance. Working closely with the board, I forgot myself, Dr. KECHLOGBUAGU, who is indeed chair of the board and founder and CEO of Conversations for Change. I have been a public health physician for over 40 years, served as a lecturer in the university with pride here in Nigeria for well over 10 years, before joining the United Nations internationally, where I spent almost another 20 there before retiring and coming back to roost at home here in Nigeria as a founder and president of Conversations for Change. Supporting the board of trustees and being on top of the day-to-day management of the organization is a remarkable group of young people, my management team. As a board, we did our best to ensure that at all times, the management team itself is a team of young people, because Conversations for Change is about young people. It is about empowering young people. And sometimes the best way to do a job is through the eyes and the voice and the lenses of your target group, the young people. So the C4C management team are a wonderful group of young people who do all the day-to-day work, a small group of people, but amazing achievers who do so much. You will hear from them. They are great, they are remarkable. They, like all young people, are excellent multitaskers and will be telling you about the things they do. They are Omolade Ogunlela, been longest with the organization. I personally say she's my right hand, she's been there, she's the memory, powerhouse of energy. You will hear from her.
My boss calls me Jack of all trades, but one function I hold very dear is my position as financial clerk. Aside working with the CEO in actualizing strategic partnerships, it is also my function in ensuring financial accountability of the organization, especially to our sponsors and partners, by making sure necessary taxes are remitted and filed monthly and annually. Books are in place, working with the team over every procurement process, vendor registration, and disbursement of funds. Regular internal and external audits are done, and projects are effectively and well implemented. Just to say that we take financial accountability very serious in C4C. Working with C4C has been an amazing experience because for me it goes beyond just earning a living. It's me being part of a movement that is impactful and inspiring to many young people and adolescents across Nigeria and hopefully across the world. As I lead, I oversee many activities as regards the entrepreneurship program, from decision making on application questions to the setup of the online portal, to selection, screening, shortlisting, and the final decision on selected beneficiaries. As a team, we ensure that within the city of Abuja, which presently is our catchment pool, even as we expand the program to other parts of Nigeria, hopefully, we ensure that young entrepreneurs are informed about the program well enough and about the opportunity that it offers. It's inspiring to be part of such a movement because I see other young people, myself, getting supported, getting the empowerment they need, knowing how sometimes it could be hard starting a business in Nigeria, but C4C makes it easier. So I am grateful that for the past 4 years, this has been my experience working here.
We have Stephen Ogumbi, remarkable young man, talented. I'm very proud to say I was part of building up his amazing skills, his creativity, who is an integral part of this team, who does a lot to make sure that our productions, our media are, of international standard. You will hear from him.
This is what I do that gives me joy and enthusiasm. So being part of C4C Media is a great avenue for me, bringing my passion on board to achieving C4C's vision statements. In my department, I produce video documentaries for the Sage television show. Not only that, I also ensure that the YouTube handles and all other social media handles of C4C are well running and updated. It will interest you that working behind the scenes and producing documentaries have been my driving force. C4C saw these inbuilt skills and brought me in as a media and ICT personnel in the organization. Funny enough, it will interest you to know that I was one of the fellows in the 2019 Global Entrepreneurship Fellowship Program. And it has been a great opportunity for me bringing in my skills to ensuring that the vision and the mission statement of C4C is achieved. However, I am proud to say I am the man behind the shooting and editing of all C4C videos, and more especially the Sage show. I am Stephen Adeife. I am the ICT and media personnel of C4C.
We have Miss JOAN MUSA. I think she's the mother of the group. She's young, but I like to think of her as a mother. She takes care of us. Many of our program, our young entrepreneurs, the people who are associated with the say she's the mother of the group. She's the mother. She's forever making sure that things are working, that logistics work. We get fed. We remember the things we do. Indeed, she is the heartthrob, the engine, and very much appreciated. She will tell you herself in a little while about the things she does in the organization.
I started my calling as a teacher back then in Kogi State, a classroom teacher. But here I am in C4C today, doing what I never expected of. Here in C4C, we're a very little team, but we multitask. Some of my functions in C4C are, I'm the admin staff, I'm the logistics officer, I'm the finance clerk too, I'm a camera assistant, and I am also the procurement officer. For finance clerk too, I maintain and update records. I am also in charge of making calculations, bills, and transactions for the organization. I check receipts and memos. I am also in charge of making sure that all the office assets are well in place. Never stop to be grateful to C4C. C4C has really helped me. When I go to functions and I see ladies handling the camera, snapping and covering events, I used to admire them a lot. Today, I am the camera assistant of C4C. Much thanks to my colleague Stephen Adeife, I can mount cameras. I can also take good pictures now. I assist in our shows, in setting up cameras for our weekly shows.
My name is Omolade Ogulela. I am the lead C4C Entrepreneurship Initiative and the special assistant to the CEO, Dr. KECHLOGBUAGU.
Though we are few in the organization, but we are strong and we can achieve greater things.
We are C4C,
Creating the change we need.
Welcome back to the Sage, and thank you for having stayed with us. I hope, like me, that as you watched that last segment, you ended up with, wow. Yes, it is a real wow. They are a wonderful group of young people. Small in number, we have on a lean budget, you soon learn how to do that, but very, very effective. Multitasking all the time, on top of issues, full of energy. But what I find most endearing about them, as the CEO, as the manager who works on a day-to-day basis with them, is the joy they derive from the things they do. The joy they have in actually helping other young people like themselves have a better life. It's a wonderful thing. And they also know it's a wonderful gift to have. To wake up every day, happy with what you're doing, happy that you're making your own little contribution to making the world a better place. And doing your best, and very effectively so as they are doing, to be effective at it. We thank them. And on that note, we conclude this particular portion as we ask you to join us next week as we finish this story, as we show you that what we're doing is so important for young people, for each and every one of us, for our country. We need to work together to make it happen. Join us next week as we continue the story. I thank you.